Hey friends, this is Pastor Coates. I want to welcome you back once again to Money Talk here at Family First. We're in our series, 31 Facts About the Law of the Seed. We're up to number 29 today. Now, if you want to review any of the previous lessons, you can find them on our YouTube channel. But today's number 29, and here it is. The seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life. The seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life. Here's what the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11:1. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. It leaves your hand. You cast your bread upon the water, but it doesn't leave your life. Even though you cast it out, where does it go? It goes into your future. You will find it again after many days. But here's the amazing thing. In the future, when you reconnect with your seed, it will be much bigger than when you left it. Now, I want to give you this verse today. Very important. We've probably talked about it before, but it's John 12:24. I call this verse the process of sowing. Here's what it says. Truly I say to you, unless a grain of wheat, now listen, falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. This process called sowing can be broken down to several stages. Number one, the seed must fall. That's where we're saying it must leave your hand. It's out of your control. It's still in your life because it's still your seed, but you're not actually touching it. You're no longer actually possessing it because the seed must fall. Secondly, the seed must be buried unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth. Not only is it out of your hand, but now it's covered up with the soil. You can no longer touch it, but now you can't even see it. And then you must leave it there because the Bible says it must die. It must remain alone. You can't be like the little boy that plants his little tulip seed in the milk carton, sets it in the window of the first grade and digs it up every few hours just to see if it's growing yet. No, you got to leave it alone. It's out of your control. It's out of your sight. Leave it alone. Let it die. But then the Bible says, if the seed is left alone to die, buried in the soil, it will produce a crop. It will grow. It will multiply. And so when you reconnect with it in the future, it'll be much bigger than you left it, because here's Mark 4:20. But those that were sown in the good soil are the ones who hear the word and accept it and bear fruit 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold. So the seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life. It goes into your future, and when you're reconnected, it will be 30, 60, even 100 times bigger than when you left it. Now I want to go back to Ecclesiastes 11 and give you this conclusion. Verse number 1 said, cast your bread on the waters, you will find it after many days. But if you go down to verse number 4, it says this, however, he who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. In other words, if you don't know this principle, that the seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life, you will watch the wind and not sow. You will watch the clouds and you will not reap. You will look at the wind and you say, well, I don't know if this is a good day or not for me to sow my seed. It's windy today. The wind might blow my seed away. I don't want to waste my seed. This is not a good day. I'll wait for another day. Maybe I'll sow some other time. And if you never sow, you never reap. How many know there will never be the perfect time to sow? There will always be excuses. There will always be wind watchers that tell you, don't sow today, it's not a good day. But secondly, Solomon says this, he who regards the clouds will not reap. Not only will you not sow, but you will not reap. You'll look around and say, well, I think it's going to rain today. I'm not going to get out the combine. I'm not going to get out the tractors. The ground is going to become muddy today. This is not a good day to reap. And if you regard the wind, you'll never sow. But if you regard the clouds, you'll never reap. But here's the wonderful thing today. When the seed leaves your hand, it goes into your future. It never leaves your life. And in the future, when you reconnect with it, it will be much larger than when you left it. 30, 60, or even 100 times greater than it was. So God bless you today as we continue to sow with expectation for God's favor and blessing on our lives.